Picture this. You're in the rigid, monotonous world of military service, where every day feels like a repeat of the last. The same uniforms, the same routines, the same faces, until one day, something happens that shakes up everything you thought you knew. You're standing in line for lunch, eyes cast down like usual, when suddenly you see them. A pair of high-top sneakers. Not just any sneakers. These are Celine, the kind that only someone with serious style would wear. Your heart skips a beat. Could it be? You lift your head, and there he is, V from BTS, right in front of you. This isn't just a story, it's the unbelievable experience of FC Seoul's Lee Sang-min, who found himself in the same military training camp as one of the world's biggest superstars. It all started with a whisper of a rumor, the kind that gets passed around in hushed tones between trainees. V was enlisting, and not just anywhere. He was coming to their camp. The excitement was palpable, but also tinged with the bittersweet reality of military life, where everyone, no matter how famous, becomes just another soldier. For Lee Sang-min, the idea of meeting V was like a beacon of light in the otherwise grueling routine of training. But the reality turned out to be more challenging than he expected. You see, once V arrived, he looked just like everyone else. Shaved head, standard uniform, no traces of the dazzling superstar persona he's known for. It became a game of hide and seek, but with incredibly high stakes. Lee Sang-min was determined to spot him, to confirm with his own eyes that this was real, that V was really there, sharing the same experience, the same hardships. And then, the breakthrough. While scrolling through his phone, Lee Sang-min came across a photo of V on the day he enlisted. It was raining, and V was wearing a poncho, hardly recognizable, except for one thing, his shoes. Those distinctive Celine high tops, a small yet defining detail. Lee Sang-min latched onto this clue like a lifeline. From that moment on, every time he went to eat, his eyes were on the lookout for those shoes. 2 days later, as he sat in the mess hall, his gaze fell to the ground, and there they were. The shoes he had been searching for. His pulse quickened. He slowly looked up, and there he was, V, sitting not far from him, mask on, but those eyes, those unmistakable eyes, giving him away. Lee Sang-min was struck by a mix of awe and disbelief. He had found him. But now, what could he do? Talking to him was out of the question. The rules were strict, and besides, he was trying to play it cool, even though every fiber of his being wanted to shout, "It's Vi! It's really him!" But the moment wasn't lost. Even though it might have seemed rude, Lee Sang-min couldn't help but stare, his eyes locked onto V's, trying to take in every detail. The thrill of that moment, the sheer luck of finding V in such a sea of faces, was something he knew he'd never forget. And when he quietly nudged his friends, whispering, "It's V! It's V!" the ripple of excitement that spread through their group was electric. They all turned, trying to catch their own glimpse of the global icon who was, for this brief moment, just another soldier like them. Days passed, and V, like all new recruits, started wearing the standard-issue military shoes, making him even harder to spot. But Lee Sang-min had one more trick up his sleeve. He knew that squad leaders wore name tags, and V, being a squad leader, had one too. This gave Lee a few more precious moments of recognition, where he could see V up close, even if they couldn't exchange words. It was enough. More than enough. Just knowing he had been this close to someone he admired, someone who had made such an impact on the world, filled him with a quiet satisfaction. As Lee Sang-min reflected on the experience, he couldn't help but smile at the irony of it all. Here he was, a professional soccer player, someone who had his own share of fans, yet he found himself starstruck, just like any other fan, at the sight of V. He wasn't even a huge Idol fan, but BTS? BTS was different. They were everywhere, their music, their presence, their influence. It was impossible not to be moved by it. And so he thought about how funny it would be if this story became a YouTube thumbnail, The Time I Met V in the Military. He knew people would click on it in a heartbeat. It wasn't just a military story anymore, it was something much more special. It was a memory that would stay with him forever, a story he would tell and retell, each time with that same sparkle in his eyes, remembering how, in the most unexpected place, he had a brush with greatness.